Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. From midfield now, here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. They go play action now. Jackson. And I think the ball's out, and the Bengals have recovered it.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the mass of bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Jackson to throw. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. To throw is Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now it's Jackson. Caught on a slant. Touchdown. Isaiah Likely. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now 21-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Burrow's throw taken in by Moss. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Ready?
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And his throw here's incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Logan Wilson able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Here's Williams to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going.
11.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Marcus Peters came screaming in on the corner blitz.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, but while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
There he goes, right side. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Once again, they run with Mixon. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Burrow will throw. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Brandon Stephens. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker with the extra point. And that makes this 35-0 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Burrow looking to pass. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now Burrow. Flush to his right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Again, it's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll throw on first down with Burrow. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Brandon Stephens. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Sliding out of the pocket. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They go play action with Jackson. Steps away. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where
trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 41.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Brandon Stephens.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. After the interception, here's Jackson.
That's complete, left side to Bateman.
And some room to maneuver. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. From midfield now, Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Odafe Oweh.
And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, partner,
I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's been a fun game for him so far, but I think he tried to do just a little too much that time. Give the defense a rare win on that snap.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Yeah, you got to wait until that ball goes 10 yards. They did not. They hit it before, and that draws the flag every time.
And there's no doubt in my mind that converting an onside kick has never been tougher in the NFL with the new rules. So trying to get it to 10 yards, timing up perfectly, that's tough enough to begin with. But when
and my goodness, another interception. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jesse Bates. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD.